Christ's letters. Continuation of letter 4. He will seek solace from another source, men or women, drink or drugs, or by isolating himself within the household, of use neither to partner nor children. Therefore, men and women have an equal responsibility to cherish each other. Just as the man must learn to channel daily the father aspect of divine consciousness towards family and work, so must woman learn to express the mother aspect of divine consciousness in her daily life. Those who deny this truth will be denied access to the celestial kingdoms until they have increased their spiritual perception and prayerfully changed their attitudes. Only when their vision is lifted above the earthly human perception of male and female and beyond their earthly desires and ego drive to the reality out of which they have drawn their being, will they escape the wheel of reincarnation and find entrance to the ultimate joy and glory. If, within a culture, a woman is regarded only as a possession, an object of a man's desires, and not treated as a woman, absolutely equal with a man, such a culture has not understood the true nature of man and the true nature of woman. Man and woman are two equal halves of one whole. When single and alone, the man is manifesting but one aspect of his source of being. And when woman lives alone and single, she also manifests but one aspect of her source of being. Number 3. Divine intention of universal consciousness. The divine intention of universal consciousness was to express its own wholeness through creation by individualizing in physical form each of the two equally balanced aspects of itself and then bringing them together again in physical form to experience the unity and wholeness of divine consciousness from which they originally took their individuality. As they come together in love and unity of spirit and body, they discover the joy and ecstasy of universal consciousness in equilibrium. This entire process is clearly set out in letters 5 and 7. Therefore, the combination of the masculinity of the man and the femininity of the woman is essential to make a whole drawn from the source of being. Out of this combination is formed a whole child. Number 4. Intention. When I was in the desert in Palestine, I first perceived that the overriding nature of universal consciousness creativity, our source of being, was intention. The intention to create, plan and design, and then to bring forth that design by growing it, feeding, healing, protecting, and fulfilling its every need in a disciplined manner. Both male and female have been evolved in physical form and consciousness to experience intention and express it in all ways possible in their lives. This is the very first act of creativity. Without intention, there would be no creation. Intention is the origin of and permeates the whole of existence. Intention defines the nature of the deed, loving or destructive. The male and female have been individualized to experience and formulate intention in their lives. This is the very first impulse of creativity. Number 5. Willpower. Male and female have also been individualized to experience and express willpower. Willpower in the male is experienced and expressed primarily as activity. In primitive forms, he moves out into the environment to fulfill his intention. Therefore, he dons the robes of the leader and quester. He was individualized to think and work to fulfill his purposes without the encumbrance of emotions. Willpower in the female is motivated and experienced primarily as feeling, the need to nurture the original intention and bring it purposefully to full term fruition through the process of caring, feeding, clothing, repairing, teaching, protecting. Number 6. Purpose. Purpose is entirely different to intention, since purpose comes down from the mental plane of intention and becomes an emotional drive, a desire to formulate a means to achieve the intended end. A powerful intention to do something becomes a purpose behind continued existence. In this way, thought and feeling are married to perform the work of creation. The male is constantly roaming, seeking new ideas, new ways to fulfill his intentions to give him purpose in life. The female's intentions are purpose personified, sensitive and stable, prepared to make sacrifices for the loved ones. Number 7. The two basic impulses expressed as male and female. Therefore, the two basic impulses within the source of being, expressed in physical form as male and female, are interdependent. One could not survive without the other. Both are needed for the continuity of creation. Because of his masculine mobility, his leadership drive, the male has considered himself superior to the female. This is because she remains stable, creating security for the male. But the feminine drive is the drive of unconditional love, the drive worthy of the highest respect and consideration to enable her to flourish and perform her innate purpose within the household in peace of mind and joy. The man's role is to provide physical security and material means of subsistence for the family. The woman's role is to provide emotional security and the emotional means of personal fulfillment and joy within the family environment. In the past, in the East and West, the male has exercised his role of dominance within the home, making the woman subservient and obedient to his will. In so doing, he has bent and distorted the energies of divine consciousness and channeled them through his mind and heart into a bent civilization. He has also distorted the woman's consciousness by instilling in her a deep resentment of her subservient role, which she knows intuitively she should not be expected to endure. Therefore, he has created a degraded and degrading way of life for himself and partner, entirely in conflict with the nature of his source of being. The fact that the female has had to exercise her masculine drive of aggression to express her equality of being, to achieve the respect due to her within society, means that your civilization has become thoroughly destabilized and unhealthy. The woman is usurping the male role out of desperation, but in doing so, she is defeating the intention behind creation. Male and female have lost their way completely. In underdeveloped countries, people are only half alive, trying to solve the division between male and female through casual sex. As a result, man and woman become ever more divided and unfulfilled. Conflict in the family unit creates stress, misery, and separation, even though they may live under one roof. In developed countries, psychiatric offices are filled with unhappy people and children who say they do not know who they really are or what their purpose is in life. They are asking the experts who do not know the answers either. It should be remembered also that each person, male and female, have lessons to learn in life which can only be learned in the sex and the race in which they find themselves. Therefore, a woman must accept her role in life as the provider of emotional love and security to her mate and children with respect and dignity and perform it to the very best of her ability. She must recognize that the role of provider of emotional security is absolutely vital to society. She provides the glue of love and well-being which holds families, cities, countries together. When she understands her true place and goals in society and seeks to perform and achieve them in the highest way possible, she is moving forward rapidly on the path to unconditional love and the highest rewards in personal fulfillment and happiness. She will also move on to a higher level of consciousness, perhaps as a male in her next life, who will bring great benefits to mankind. Similarly, spiritually evolved males, even spiritual teachers, return to life on earth to learn true humility and to put all their high principles of existence into daily practice as a loving woman who mothers with wisdom and nurtures all who have need of what she can offer. Where then is the inequality? Remove the scales from your limited sight and intellect and see with clear vision that there should be no inequality, only shared intentions to express all that you have both drawn from divine consciousness in the most spiritual way to achieve the highest happiness possible on earth. In years to come, when a man and woman have evolved spiritually, if or when divided in intention, they will together take their intentions to Father, Mother, Divine Consciousness, asking, what is to be created in our circumstances? What is our best way ahead? When they have received answers, they will accept them with loving heart and pull them. Any differences in answer will be respected and again taken to divine consciousness with the same request until they reach sincere consensus. Together, man and woman will then return and ask of divine consciousness, how may we best achieve our purposes? And again they pull their answers and continue asking until they finally arrive at a working plan which has been conceived not in the human brain alone, but in the highest dimension of creativity, divine consciousness. Working together in this way, they will eventually experience the bliss of true unity of soul, mind, heart, and body. Finally, the male could not exist comfortably without also experiencing and manifesting some of the feminine drive. He needs emotion to bond with his wife, children, and other relationships, schoolmates and workmates, colleagues and friends. Without some warm feelings, he would be a cold monster. Frequently, if an old soul, he brings through much warmth and caring from previous incarnations as a woman. The more spiritually evolved he becomes, the more equally are the two sexual impulses balanced within his nature. This also applies to women. Equally, the female could not exist comfortably without some of the masculine drive. Without a capacity for intelligent planning, her household would be a disaster zone. There is also the possibility that she has been a strong masculine character in her past incarnation and is uncomfortable in the feminine role of sacrificing herself for others. Such a one must ask of divine consciousness to clarify her vision that she may see that without love for humanity, leadership is a dangerous exercise. That's it for today. Thank you. I love you. God bless you. See you tomorrow. Bye.